So thank you very much for having me here. I really appreciate the fact that you are still in the room after a long day of presentations. I feel like celebrating together with you a special fact for me. Imagine that today, I'm celebrating my 20,000th day since my birth. So I'm like 54 years, just for you to comprehend this. You had in front of you till now lots of engineers, lots of hackers, lots of offensive or defensive specialists. Right now you have someone who's a graduate of medical school, but who's facilitating educational activities in Timișoara and beyond the city. I'm coming from CoderDojo. Yeah, that's a quite interesting educational context. It's non-formal. It's free to attend for the interested kids based on the involvement of volunteer specialists from industry. The kids have a great opportunity to learn what they want in the pace they feel comfortable, interacting freely with other peers, with specialists, focusing on various kinds of tech content. They are starting those age 7 with Scratch. You probably heard about that programming environment, and they're going up as they're growing up to, I don't know, AI and deep cybersecurity. CoderDojo was started in Ireland, 2011, by a hacker. He was still a high school kid when he apparently was the first one who was able to hack an iPod. Suddenly he became a star in his school. Everybody wanted to be like him. James Welton convinced his school principal to offer him a room once per week for several hours to share his knowledge and to help others evolve. That's good. You may say, okay, everyone can do that. He was more than an initiator. He was a lucky guy. He met a visionary guy, Bill Liao. He's a VC guy, a philanthropist, who understood the potential of this kind of non-formal educational context. After several years, CoderDojo became a global movement. More than 20 clubs were started. At this stage, after 11, 12 years, we are counting for 250,000 of kids who were exposed to technology, who were directed towards various lines in this field. And it effectively get to the villages, to towns. You can imagine in Romania, we had like 10% of the dojos functioning in villages, not only in huge cities like Bucharest or smaller ones like Timișoara. CoderDojo was, I don't know, fueled by passion. At some point, it entered in the family of Raspberry Pi, and it got, by this movement, a lot of stability. Now we are using together resources, networks. We are organizing events and competition together with Raspberry Pi, so that means a lot of more rich and stronger content. Okay, CoderDojo global, but we have a quite solid network in Romania too. It started pretty close to here, Drumul Taberei. I don't know, is it close? Is it far? No, it's far. But it was started by the guys who were at that time at Adobe Romania, Bogdan Râpă, maybe for some of you, this rings a bell, or Bobby Voicu, another community passionate guy. And before pandemic, it grew up to like 60 implementations all over the country. As I told you, even in Valea Doftanei, if you remember that. And the fantastic lady that runs it there in some way convinced the president of Romania to open the school year at some point in her informatics lab. So the power of this concept is really, really amazing. We started in Timișoara a little bit later, but we really developed quite fast, ending up with about 19 implementations before the pandemic. It really impacted this pandemic. We are now about 10 functioning dojos. We are bringing together kids on a weekly basis for 2-3 hours, up to 4 for those really, really passionate. And they are meeting in various places, in universities, in seminar rooms, or in co-working spaces, or they are hosted by companies that are somehow replacing the missing programmers, at least for several hours a week with these passionate kids. What we started again after the pandemic is to specialize the way we are doing this educational activity. So instead of a huge 100+ gathering of kids, we have much smaller, much focused implementations, and those that are really promising are the game dev, CoderDojo, the robotics one, and we have 2 bio CoderDojo. And of course, there is a strong one in CyberSec. With all these hundreds of kids, we are organizing quite often, I would say, huge events like the 500 kids participating at Mega Dojo, 1 full day of experiencing the miracles of tech. These kids are participating to hackathons, to capture the flag competitions, to all sorts of tech-intensive events. They're building hardware, they're cooperating. We have amazing girls that are part of the movement in whatever kind of domain. We have university teachers that are mentoring. We also have high school kids that are good enough in order to educate or to orient a much younger kid. That's a Mega Dojo. It's part of the crowd that's spending one day making their laptops hot. This CoderDojo Timișoara CyberSec came on a previous set of activities. We have started to pay attention to this field quite, 10 years ago, when the team that is now organizing DefCamp organized a pretty interesting event in our co-working space with an international participation of mentors and speakers from Hungary and from this Central and Eastern Europe. A little bit later, some kids gathered resources that were needed and organized their first local capture the flag competition. This guy here, and remember him, was one of the losers of the first capture the flag competition in Timișoara. 1 year later, we had the first, real international competition. It was an academic focused on high school kids, and we were surprised to see that 450 teams were participating to the qualification phase. And we have selected 20 teams to be on site for the offline final. There were several international ones, but we were amazed to see that Korean team also attended. And yeah, in terms of countries where these teams originated, they were, all over the world. And I think that at that time, some of the guys who are now competing in the capture the flag area here were at their first international presentation. Before setting up the CoderDojo CyberSec, we also brought this topic in all important events we had. So the guys who are passionate about CyberSec were opening the ways to the others, providing presentations on cyber safety, organizing small CTF type of events within our mega dojos. Again, within our specialization tendency, we came to the setting up of the CoderDojo Timișoara CyberSec. It has now 1 year of functioning. Guys are meeting for 3 hours sessions during the weekend, but of course they use their Discord channels to stay focused on their passion during the weeks. There are about 30 kids participating that are directed by these 5-6 mentors. And if we are talking about the venue, it's a simple laboratory in the Polytechnica University, and strangely enough, the dean was open enough to give us the key, give us some space in the racks of servers, and apparently nothing really dangerous or, I don't know, punishable happened during 1 year. So our hackers are still apparently on the white side of the party. What are they doing? Lots of hands-on approaches. They're organizing internal CTF, and they're enjoying the support coming from the industry. Yeah, they are from time to time receiving pizza, juice, and all this good stuff. Additionally, they are, again, probably in the idea of bringing more life in the offices of the IT companies in Timișoara. They receive the rights to spend 1 day or 2 days in hackathons. And last one was held during the summer holiday, being hosted by the friends from OpSWAT. They're offering, again, a fantastic venue, prizes, and they're also encouraging their employees to work with the kids. But who are the people of CoderDojo Timișoara CyberSec? We have two champions. They are now freshmen in university. So they started as high school kids to run the show at CoderDojo CyberSec. Alex is studying in West University of Timișoara, and Răzvan is studying in the Polytechnica. So in some way, CoderDojo Timișoara is controlling somehow both the tech departments of the major universities. They have a direct relation with the deans, with vice deans, so they are really effective. Then we have some mentors working in the industry as CyberSec specialists, and we have really, really passionate kids. For example, here you can see Alex and Vlad. I took these pictures today, so you will probably meet them dressed like that today or tomorrow. And these guys are in the 8th grade. Imagine that they were winners of CTF competitions that brought them in fight with kids that are also entering the university. So I think that they really promise a lot. What we look for in the coming period is to attract more mentors. There is enough kids to be supported in their effort to enter the field. Of course, it will be a significant effort to reach them in the high school, to find out who is interested in this kind of activities, and to convince, even their parents that CyberSec is not evil. What we want to do is to operate as a resource center for the national network of CoderDojo, and also to use their knowledge and availability to serve as guides for their colleagues in this field of cyber safety, cybersecurity, so on. And what these kids are really posed to do is to organize a new edition of Timișoara CTF as probably the biggest CTF organized in the city. What I would like to make sure that you are taking out of this talk is that the fact that you can consider joining this movement. You can do it extremely simply. You do not need a formal, NGO or other kind of special setting. It can function as a totally informal environment. And the idea is that you can do it pursuing several ideas, that you can really build and guide a group of passionate kids. And you probably know that you can learn today by yourself whatever you want. But growing together is much faster, much, helping you in your personal and professional development. So if you are interested in joining or starting a CoderDojo, you will definitely contribute to the community. Maybe giving back something you have received, or you haven't received, you can start by giving to the kids. I'm pretty sure, and I've seen there is lots of fun in what the kids are doing at CoderDojo. And as a professional, you can inspire them significantly. It's the best way to share what you know, what you are, what you want the other people to become. There's no a major way we can help you. We can only be a source of information on how to do it. We can kind of accompany you while you are setting up your dojo, try to share what we've done, both on the successful side or fail side, in order to accelerate your process. We can connect you with the wider national and global CoderDojo network. And of course, what we'd really like will be to see you knocking on our CoderDojo door, entering, sharing your knowledge, understanding the philosophy, the atmosphere, the whole process there, and why not joining the next year Capture the Flag competition could be a great idea. I'm coming back to that round face guy who was not extremely successful in his first participation to Capture the Flag competition. He started his studies in a university this autumn. He's studying in Stuttgart. He's studying cybersecurity. And he successfully collected enough money participating to Bug Bounty to pay his whole study program. And it happened because he was supported. He had from who to learn and with who to set up goals and work on achieving them. That was all what I wanted to share with you. Please, if you have questions, I hope I will be able to answer.
Hi. What age was the youngest kid to ever take part in one of the CTFs, for example?
I'm pretty sure that they were about, so 6th grade, that means 12 years, kind of. And yeah, the guys I was including in the CoderDojo Timișoara delegation to here, they are now 14 years, but they have already 2 years of experience.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Radu. Very nice presentation and congratulations for this.
Yeah, when you're talking about kids, you do not have to be a very tech guy and I don't know what kind of specialist. So,
yeah, thank you. One question. What I didn't understand you from your presentation, or probably you didn't mention it. What was your driver to begin this journey? Because you mentioned you are a doctor, so
yeah, but
I'm just curious because I also I'm working in security for 11 years, but before that I was working in marketing research. So at one time I switched.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you.
So I used to work in a business incubation organization that was initiated by the Polytechnica University in Timișoara. And they were thinking about their students to be, I don't know, beneficiary of our work. But very soon we discovered that it's quite late to, I don't know, to influence in a significant manner someone who's already looking for a job, who's driven by I don't know, the need of money or I don't know what kind of experiences. So little by little we came down with the target group we have worked with, and it was amazing how these kids were answering to the opportunity we've offered to them. And it's just looking around, things are happening all over the world, there are models outside, you just have to try to pick and to adapt what you can take from outside. And I've been lucky enough to work with fantastic people. Everyone was a volunteer. Nobody's getting paid for what's happening in CoderDojo. And right now we are in the position to innovate within the global network. This CoderDojo is the first functional approach that's trying to combine the life science and computer science that's defined by, I don't know, Steve Jobs or Bill Gates as the geography or topography where the future will emerge in this century. And also this specialization approach is something that's innovative here in Timișoara. So, yeah, it's like, just do it.
So you mentioned the CoderDojo. This is the part that I found the most fascinating. I work in cybersecurity, but the the intersection between all of these STEM sciences, I think beyond fascination for.
I can imagine that at some point you've been thinking about becoming a doctor or...
No, just a doctor, a scientist, a bunch of things.
Good.
And I loved chemistry, so. And
yeah.
biology, and a bunch, yeah.
Again, this was driven by the kids. When you're opening this kind of programming education context, there will be kids coming from the high schools, from the informatics specialization. And yeah, they are passionate, but you find out that actually they are dreaming about becoming medical professionists, yeah? And then we decided, okay, if you are really interested in biology, but you are also considering programming as an important type of knowledge, let's combine the things. And that's how we started this CoderDojo in 2019. And it was absolutely mind-blowing to see that kids that were, I don't know, considering genetics like a very thin layer of knowledge without, as it's presented by the educational system, so without understanding the depth of this field, being able in, I don't know, 4 or 5 months to develop extremely complex projects dealing with CRISPR technology and building bioinformatic approaches to emulate the CRISPR processes, and also building the lab protocols to achieve that. We were not able to enter in a wet lab to really, at that time, but afterwards, after several years, they were joining Oncogen. There is a research institute in Timișoara, and they were able to really perform that experiments. And it's, again, fantastic to see how deep they can dig.
Do you have a chapter in Bucharest?
Unfortunately, no.
And if
but
not,
I'm
would you want
really,
to start one?
I'm more than happy to work whoever wants to experiment that. And I'm pretty sure that you are better positioned here because there are much more significant research facilities and professionals in these fields. And I have to mention the fact that globally there are some fantastic, let's call them educational contexts and competitional contexts for this field. If you check for igem.org, yeah, it's the International Genetically Engineered Machine Competition. 20 years old concept with events bringing in 4,000, 5,000 participants. It happened beginning of November in Paris. I was lucky to get there as a judge. 400 competing teams, 120 of them formed by high school kids, mostly from China, you guessed, yeah? But there was a first Romanian team coming from Brașov. I discovered that the winners were led by a professor that graduated the Life Science University in Timișoara, and the student leaders of that team from McGill University in Canada were Canadians, born there, but from Romanian families. And they are really, really expecting for something to start here, just to jump in and to support and to contribute. So let's stay connected.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Yep. Sebastian, first of all, thank you. I appreciate very much what you shared and what you do. One pragmatic question from my side. So I captured the thing that everyone is a volunteer, no one is paid. That's great, and it's as it should. Is there a tax or a fee for joining or opening a dojo?
No. No money is changing hands. So kids are getting there for free. We are also trying to equip them who do not have their laptops. So we are providing several laptops for those in. And then when we are talking about, I don't know, participation to a competition, typically we've been attending Coolest Projects event, a showcase of tech projects in Dublin. We've been able to attract funds as sponsorships from local companies. So even for that kind of adventures, kids are not supposed to pay.
Okay, thank you.
My question was, I wouldn't call it a success rate, but I was curious how many kids stay in the program and for how long?
How long, or?
Yeah, for how many and how long? Yeah.
So there is a fantastic cycle that is closing in some of the cases. Of course, people are experimenting things, and some of them understand rapidly that this field is not what they should do, and they're just saying goodbye. But there are kids that are starting, we are 11 years old now. There were kids that are coming as middle school students, yeah? And now they're returning as mentors while they're starting their doctoral studies. So we have the first PhD students in computer science that emerged or that grew up within CoderDojo context.
My daughter is 5. What would be the best time? I already started some programming with all kinds of toys. What would be the best time to visit like a CoderDojo and like to show her like what is all there and so to make her enthusiastic? And by the way, if you open in Bucharest, we will come.
Yeah, there are several implementation here in Bucharest. You can check on CoderDojo.com. What we are encouraging parents is to restrain from bringing kids that age, but usually we are opening our doors at 7 years old, but on the other hand, there are enough resources that are designed for younger kids, but we are not able to I don't know, to involve that kind of kids.
No, of course. But more to make her enthusiastic about the topic, to show what is there, like for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, we are using the Scratch Mini. That's a pretty, no-code approach of designing and developing, I don't know, kind of doodles or simple games that can really make a kid feel that he achieved something.
It's super short. European funds for evolving or developing or helping the kids out with equipment. Why?
Yeah. So we know about that opportunities, and from time to time we are part of various competitions for these funds. There is a Fondul Științescu, for example, functioning in Romania that is supporting kind of activities that are expanding our reach, and they are very keen to fund activities that will get out the mentors from the cities and offer this opportunity to kids from the rural areas, for example. And yes, we are doing that kind of thing. I think that there was a email address. Just send me whatever message, and I'm promising that I will immediately respond. Thank you very much for celebrating with me this 20,000th day of my life.